What's up, guys? It's your boy Jamaica here. If you've been watching the VODs recently, you've noticed that my internet was just so bad. It was so bad during the top 8 that actually my game 2, the end of game 2 and beginning of game 3 got cut off. So I'm just gonna give you a rundown of the end of game 2. I'm gonna show you the beginning of game 3, and you'll get to see the end of it because my stream caught up back at the end of game 3, which is pretty epic, if I have to say so myself. So at the end of game 2, the last thing you saw is that my opponent cast a turn 3 spell shock. And I had a bounce spell for the spell shock. I really didn't have any like draw spells to kind of like take advantage of it. So I had to play a couple spells into spell shock. And what happened was that like I was at 6 life. My opponent ended up playing the 4th land, and then Searing Spearing me twice to the head. And I was at 6. So I died. So this is the beginning of game 3. I'm just gonna run through real quick. Do my best here. I keep this hand, it's pretty good. Familiar, some rituals, and a draw spell. But this is where I screw up. I accidentally misclicked the ritual here. But it's going to come relevant later. I actually misclicked the ritual, I was really embarrassed. But I ended up playing the ritual, the familiar anyway. It's going to come a little later. Opponent Searing Spears the familiar, which is fine. You know, that's what you do there. Turn 3, I get to play pieces, which is really important to fuel threshold. I have only 2 choices, so I take the Mind's Desire and the Take Inventory. I think the opponent goes Mind Sparker here, which is a one-sided spell shock, basically, and I have nothing way to deal with it. Take Inventory here is going to get cast to a Fuel Threshold. So now I do have 7 cards in my graveyard. I do take 2 from his Mind Sparker, but it's okay. And I draw a Frantic Search, which is very important. It's really good to get things going here. Because next turn, I think I have to get things going. Opponent goes Chandra's Phoenix, so I'm going to take 5 here. But they only have like 1 land untapped, which is pretty good for me. So, the next turn, I decided to start with a ritual, so I get a bunch of black mana. I want to filter it into blue mana with the Frantic Search. So I use 2 of the black mana and make Frantic Search. I discard the redundant Mind's Desire. I think Take Inventory too, because it's one of the more useless. Oh, I decided to strategy planning. The Take Inventory can refill my hand a little bit. So I can do Take Inventory for 2. I find a Locket. I can play. I still have 1 mana free, so I play the Locket. It's free card, so I get to play it. And then I get to turn about my lands and untap everything. I'm taking 2 every time for every blue spell I play, so it's not free here. So I untap all my lands. And here comes the Mind's Desire. I have it 5 Storm, now 6, so it's pretty good. It's a good Mind's Desire, but do we really have enough for it? So I draw Sins. Strategic Planning. I think I hit the Take Inventory and a Locket. So I played a Locket first. It was 1 free mana. And then I go Strategic Planning, which takes me to 3. So at this point, people were saying, well, you could have just Sins for Mind's Desire and try to go off from there. But you really didn't know what was going to happen there. Like, I could have, like, hit the turns there off the Mind's Desire, which probably wouldn't have been safest play. I would have hit 3, and maybe I would have hit it. Maybe I would have hit Tendrils, maybe not. I'm not really sure, but this is definitely a critical point in the match because my opponent has 1 red source untapped, and I have 1. I don't have 1 blue mana. I only have 1 blue mana. I've already used all these spells in my exiles pile are free, so and I've already used something here, so. I've got the planning. I decided to cast the planning. I go to 3. So any other blue spell, which I find a deterrence, which is perfect. I have to hit the Mind Sparker here. So at this point, I'm kind of locked into play. I need to hit the deterrence. I have to take the deterrence and then hit my opponent, and then like bounce the Mind Sparker and just hope I don't see the burst sighting. So now you're caught up, and now you can watch the end of game 3, where I take the deterrence and see if I get there. Thanks, guys, and I'm sorry, so sorry for the interruption.